say we, I mean Vlad Ranik, CM Games CEO. Hi, Vlad. And Gleb Pihodnik, product manager from the NNWT production team. While others are joining in, I'd like to give you a rundown of what's on the menu today. So we'll briefly discuss the released build, I mean 0.9.4, as it marks a milestone for our team. And we also share our plans for the upcoming release. And drumroll will give a small demo of a new feature that will be included in the new build, 0.9.5. And then we'll move on to a Q&A session. I don't know, guys, what do you think? Should we wait for a couple of minutes or we're good?
Yeah, I think we can wait for like a couple of minutes while people are joining. I think we'll have a little bit more. But we could start, I don't know, like with some icebreaking question.
It's a good idea. And while our players are joining the stream, I'd like to start with a brief intro and have a first question for Vlad. In our MAA announcement, we referred to you as the guy who started the original drag racing series back in 2011. So could you elaborate a little bit on that for those who may not know about this part of your experience?
Of course. Can you guys hear me all right? Because I think my previous mic wasn't working so well. Excellent. So I switched to my backup now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess I'm the guy you could blame for the existence of the subgenre of those side-by-side mobile drag racing games, because I came up with the concept in early 2011 in response to Google creating a new category for racing games on Google Play, which was then called Android Market. So I woke up one morning seeing how there was a new category. There were not too many racing games in there. There were almost no free-to-play or free racing games. There was just a few paid games and nothing interesting in the free category. So I pitched the idea to my co-founders at CM. At that time, we were a group of just 5 guys. Making really small, simple games for Android exclusively. And that's how we decided to embark on this journey. And then within the next couple of weeks, we basically created this formula with the familiar gameplay, which is basically a rhythm game where you time your gear changes and nitros and choose your launch RPMs. That was done out of necessity because we had small screens. We couldn't really do 3D at the time. I mean, we had the 3D engine, but we didn't want to, bother with the 3D models of the cars. We didn't know how the different smartphones would handle those, because that was a long time ago. We didn't have Unity back then, so we wrote our own engines. So we came up with this side view. We put the controls at the edges of the screen because the screens used to be tiny. So we made all those decisions really quickly under time pressure because we wanted to get the game out as soon as possible, to get the feedback as soon as possible. I think it took me maybe an hour to come up with the ranking parameters for the cars, because I wanted to have like 3 principal stats for the, so that people could see, the differences between the cars at a glance without going into fine details. So I came up with this, obviously, power and weight, because that's the most important ratio, and the grip parameter, which I kind of invented because there's no standard unit for grip. And I think I took the tire friction coefficient, which is, I think, 1.2 standard for rubber versus concrete, the size of the contact patch of the tire, and the type of the transmission, whether it was front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. And I just kind of meshed it all together into one formula, which produced a nice number, which was typically 3 or 4 digits, looked neat and tidy next to the power and weight numbers, and we just roll with it. And that kind of became the the standard, because a year later CSR Racing came around and they had the same parameters plus the transmission speed, and then all the other drag racing games had the same basic setup with the same core gameplay and the same meta game and the same controls with minor differences and the same parameters for the cars. So that's how we almost accidentally created a subgenre almost 13 years ago.
So you can call yourself a pioneer. And Gleb, are you as clearly indifferent to racing and cars as Vlad?
No, I'm not like super racer, and honestly, not a racer at all. And my journey into racing like really began with games and with first of all Need for Speed, and I was not into real racing. I always was into gaming racing, and I never was like hardcore racer who know how to tune cars, and only in CM games all the things came to me like something interesting, and I started to just trying to understand how the cars work, and why do they work as it is. So for me, it's not like a lifetime hobby and like experience of all my life. It's just the things that I fall in love with when I started to work with it.
That excites
so
you,
yeah, yeah.
What I have a question for you. What are your favorite Need for Speed games of all the installments? Let's say top 3.
Well, that will be a shame, I think, because I really loved Unbound, and like I like playing it right now. Like for last week again, from the release, I came back to this game because I really love how they mixed up the like realistic physics of the car with arcade elements in Nitro and boosts and drift and like near misses, and they edited into the graphic style of the game, making it from the part where it's like a racing game. It's a super realistic graphics with super realistic cars, and when it became arcade, it started like throwing into you lots of VFXs in a flat, colorful, bright lights and effects. So it's like really cool. I love it. And I think first Underground was like something that introduced me into the culture of drag racing, because I didn't know nothing about street racing. And previously I played like Porsche Unleashed and Hot Pursuit, where it was like a game about Porsches and a game about like running away from cops. And then Underground came out, and it's like, whoa, there's like whole culture. And the third one I think is the first Criterion's Most Wanted, which are hated normally by all the Need for Speed community. Yeah, and that's why it's a shame. It will sound like a shame, but I really love Criterion. I really love Burnout series, and it was for me when they announced that Criterion will make Need for Speed series in the future. I was really hyped. They released their first Most Wanted, and maybe it was not like user acclaimed by users and critics as a good game, but it was like some kind of a first Need for Speed from Criterion for me, and I really appreciate it from the guys I love. So yeah, that's it. So what's your favorite? what's your favorite racing games?
Well, if we stick to NFS or overall, actually no, let's go beyond that, because with Need for Speed, I have a bit of overlap with you. I love the original Underground game that kind of also got me into this subculture, even though I think that was the time when the tuner culture, the JDM culture as well, and the street racing kind of movement really exploded with the first Fast and Furious movies, and I think the explosion popularity of tuning magazines. I actually used to source tuning magazines on paper, because I had internet back then. That was like 20 years ago, but we didn't have social media, and the websites we had were not amazing, and the speed of the connection wasn't amazing. So I was getting all my data from the tuning magazines. So the original Underground, the original Most Wanted, I completed it multiple times and got all the achievements. Probably too much time spent on that game. And I would say Porsche Unleashed, because of how different it was and committed to a specific brand and realism and attention to detail. That was pretty awesome. Beyond NFS, I'm a huge fan of Test Drive Unlimited. That was one of the formative games for me. Driving around Oahu Island, part of Hawaii, and having an entire island to yourself, and kind of this blend of car culture, but not street racing culture. Kind of living the life with nice cars in a nice location, just driving around, enjoying the vistas, the beautiful sunsets, and then racing, across multiple types of terrain. That was pretty awesome.
Great stuff. Thank you for sharing. Guys, to keep up with the timeline, I think we should talk about the released build 0.9.4. I know that the team has put a lot of effort into it, and I want to hear your thoughts and feelings about it, and about the main improvements, because there is a lot to talk about. But before I give you the floor, I just want to say that I'm in love with the new Sakura home screen. It's just stunning, and reminds me, I don't know, of Kurosawa's Dreams. Looks amazing. Yep. I would like to hear more about your impressions.
Sorry. I was answering in the chat. There's a really important message with a really important comment about Forza Horizon 5. Answering that, like, I've seen it on a Xbox presentations and it looks great. I love how it looks. Yeah, really important. Sorry. So okay, let's
okay. So
turn back to the question. Yeah.
no problem at all. And I urge you, by the way, to leave your comments and reactions in the chat. It's a very important part of our stream. So yeah, the question is about the build 0.9.4. I want to hear your feelings about it, and about the major improvements that the team made. I also complimented the new home screen. I think it's stunning. With
Oh yeah. That's the last thing I heard, and then I've seen the information about the Forza.
Yeah.
And yeah, sorry for that. Okay. I love this new version. There's a lot of things that was made in this version for new upcoming players, and a lot of players didn't see. But I think we can all agree that the first pass is like the main feature for this version, which were introduced, and now like it introduced not only the new progression. And the Creva today, he mentioned in the Q&A section in the Discord that like give new reasons to play, new goals in the game, and with the upcoming events in rotation right now, and with the fast pass, it's like things to do in the game. It's cool. I don't really love a couple of quests like today. I played. I've go check the weeklies, and the like everything were completed except the weekly for the customization, and we really don't have a lot of customization options right now in the game, but like it would be a spoiler alert. We will talk about this today later. And like I don't know what to do with this quest to do 15 customizations. It's like sick, and I was like changing the colors. One car, it was like strange, but we will do something good next release. And I love the economy of the experience in the first pass, because it's like limit your own experience, but give you opportunity to earn a lot. I'm like 70 level of first pass right now, and it's like around 20 boxes with Turkey vouchers. So it's like ability to grind the little Turkey boxes and achieve a little bit gear coins from like the game economy itself. So it's cool. It's really cool because there were not any places in the game where you could earn tier coins, and now you have. So that's I think the thing I love about the latest update of the game.
Vlad, what about you?
Well, there's a few things I hate. So I'll be the contrarian here. I hate that it doesn't have the club wars in it. I hate that it doesn't have a new PvP mode in it, and I hate that it doesn't have the workshop economy and a whole bunch of things that I really want to see in the game to call it a complete game in it. But obviously, we can't do everything at once. That stuff is hopefully coming soon. Apart from that, apart from the missing things, I was really involved in this one and really focused on making the whole experience slicker and smoother, easing the onboarding process, obviously adding the festival pass, which Gleb already detailed. And I'm really happy with the improvements made all across the UI, the transitions between the different sections, the overall usability of the game. It's one of those things people hardly ever ask for, but it kind of shapes your experience, like all the minor, tiny buttons that get you confused, all the navigation that gets you confused, all the markers that used to be too tiny. So we cleaned up a lot of the things that were really annoying, in my opinion, and kind of opened the opportunity to move on to bigger features from now on.
Yes, I completely agree with you about the onboarding process because I tested it and I think now it is much more smoother and much more clear. And yeah, thanks for sharing. I think now it's I forgot to ask you about your favorite car now in the game. What's your
Well, in my case,
racing?
it's still the same. It's the custom Cobra, which I got during the pre-sale, and I just love the custom body kit on it and the livery. It's my highest upgraded car. I think my best was number 13 on the secret, not so secret leaderboard in PvP, with 7.6 something, I think. So that's where I invest most of my money in the game, and I just love the design of this car.
Love it. Gleb, what about you? And your favorite ride?
On the pre-sales, I've managed to get my Doc 75 Evora, and now I'm just using only this car for S races because it's like powerful as a demon, so I love it. And now she's jumping on a start after the last balance update, and yeah, it's sick. I love it. But we made this update with the last update. We made this strange, confusing thing when the players were forced to purchase a new car on a login screen when they're logging, and I was forced also when I purchased this new Mazda, and I love it too because now I have a Mazda in a cool nut stock design, which are in D class, and I'm doing divisions on this car, and it works really well in divisions for me. So most of the time I'm using this Mazda from D class and my Doc 75 Lotus, which rides as hell and looks as hell. So yeah, I love it.
Nice. Well, I think it's a good moment now to talk about the new release and our upcoming plans. Tell me, what can players expect from version 0.9.5?
Well, about this release, there will be lots of changes and I hope lots of bug fixes. But we really wanted to present a special feature today. And Vince, I hope you're listening. Could you join my phone? Could you ask Snap to the like stage? Yeah, I see it. Okay, so here I am. With my stream. You could, guys, you could click on a
Exactly.
stream. So,
Just in case, if you tap on the screen preview we shared, it will zoom in.
yeah, I hope my voice won't double because now I'm like streaming from 2 devices here, and it's in the
No,
case. So
it's okay.
here's great. So here's the master I talked previously. Yeah, which I love, but I painted it black, not because of like hard rock fan, but just painted it black. And so yeah, we plan to add next release decals into the game. Decals will work a little bit differently from original Nitro Nation if you played, but it will work differently, not from a perspective of placing decals, but also from a perspective of earning decals. So let's start from the I think most interesting. That's how you place it on a car, and so you do it like this, and you could rotate the car as you wish, and rotate the car as you wish, and put it on your car. So yeah, it's like
Yeah, so if you
this.
guys played the original Nitro Nation, the previous Nitro Nation game, we had this fundamental issue there that we had basically 6 sides on the car, and then you could only project the decals from one side. So if you wanted to have, say, lines stretching across the entire car, or if you wanted to place something that would cover multiple parts, you would need to be, trying to manipulate multiple decals and kind of try to match them awkwardly, and that was really annoying. Now the decals get projected onto the entire body of the car from where the camera is, so you could basically, as Gleb is showing right now, move them around, and that gives us way more flexibility in how we can design the cars, and just a nice quality of life improvement over having just to constantly try to fit and connect the different elements. That was really annoying. Kind of fun in its own way, but really annoying when you wanted to create something really advanced.
Yeah. So I was started to show in what you're talking about. Yeah, if you play a lot of different racing games, I know you play, and we received the feedback that like a lot of players love how the decals made in the real racing, and we decided like implement this system. So because we also do love it, and yeah, now you could put this like passive aggressive dog who's like looking to you like you met
Is that
bro.
Andrew's dog, by the way?
So
Is that Andrew's dog?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
I
Amanda's dog,
also thought
and she's like, "You met bro."
also thought about
She
it.
says it's Andrew's dog, yeah. So we will call it like this. So this is about the placement. Of course, you could like color it, yeah, with a hue saturation, the brightness into the green dog, which well, basically not really what I wanted to do because it's white dog, of course, as any dog. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is the nature of decals in the game is changed, and now like the decals are consumables that you will need to earn in the game. Each decal to use it on your car. So when you use it, it's consumed for this car exactly. And in our opinion, this will give additional way of altering the exclusivity of the cars because we are doing a Web3 game where the limited edition cars are like super rare, and we want to exaggerate this experience also with the decals because like if this is a limited edition, I don't know, Subaru BRZ number 3, there is only one this car exists in the game, and with like these consumable decals, she will exist as only car in the game, and her paintwork will be also exclusive because not all the decals are available at the time, and you need to earn it on a random basis. It will drop. You will have something. You will use it. And
Or during events and
so
seasons, for example, like as you see, guys, we have the
yeah,
Japanese theme right now. So obviously, we have a set of Japan themed decals that I'm not sure how exactly they are granted in this version, but the main principle is that, don't get me wrong, it's not like you're gonna have to go and buy packs of decals if you want to create something meaningful. We're gonna mostly be using those to spice up gameplay, so those are probably going into the festival pass rewards. They're probably going into just random drops in the shop. And we'll obviously will be given the basic sets for free because we need to start with something. But we want to make this more interesting so that when you really earn a decal, it really means something. When you earn a batch of decals, it really means that there's a limited number of people who got those, so that reduces the chances that you're going to be meeting folks with the same decals on the street all the time.
Yeah, and yeah, I've read about making a basic shapes a free option. I'm not sure what's the economy around the price of placing it. We discussed a lot about this. We want to make it more accessible than original Nitro Nation, where the customization are locked over the hard currency, and we even talked about to make it like accessible for coins. I think
Or like free,
we
because
will.
there you have to earn them anyway. I vote free.
Yeah. So it's like not super free, but about the basic shapes, that's a good point. I'm not sure it will be like free or unfree because it's still consumable, but I think like we will go somehow. It's like you could get a lot of them, so and make it like not rare, but and accessible for everyone. So this will work well, and only the decals
Do we?
which are like super rare will be rare.
Yeah. Do we have cat decals, by the way? I just
Cat
saw
decals.
Vlad's
I'm
cat, and
sure. Sure. Yeah. Of course we
I'm
have a
sure we
cat.
have. I
Yeah.
I really appreciate the choice because you have shapes, lines, plants, animals. As a dog mom, I particularly appreciate the dog decals, and yeah, the choice is great.
And the tiger, of course.
Um,
So we have
yeah,
even a big cat.
great stuff. Um, guys, I think yeah, to keep up with our timing, I suggest we move on to the Q&A session if you don't mind.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah. So there were a bunch of questions about bonuses for those players who joined us at the earliest stages of the game. So the question is, where are the bonuses for early supporters, and where are the Nitro and gear coins for buying 3 and 5 workshops?
Gleb, do you want to take this one? Do you want me to
I
take
think
this one?
yeah. I think I'll go through the questions and just call you when there's something to discuss about, because like I have some questions, some answers here. So yeah, about the early supporters bonuses, we thought that we finally should should finally give it out because there should be no problems in this. So I think we need to collect from all the players who didn't receive it, because we got the information from John from Mythicals that some of the rewards were given away, and the problem should be only with the gear coins, and now we are ready to give it up. So I think it will be done like very soon, and we'll drop it to the players. Uh, so yeah, I think this should be dealt soon. And also there is a question. I'll take it in a loop about the physical items and giveaways and vinyls and t-shirts. So that's this is a shame, but we really didn't work with this process, and somewhere in the process, some of the rewards could be lost or didn't delivered, or I don't know, something happened. So we discussed with Mythical. Is it the case that like if the players want to be compensated with in-game digital goods? They said that's cool, and we think that's the best option we could make right now, because of course, like a T-shirt from from a dead mouse is a cool gift, and I hope in the future we'll have a lot of such things in the game, and there won't be any problems with deliveries and the processes. But at this point of time, we believe that it's better to gift you with like in-game available in-game alternatives instead of like waiting and panicking that you invested your time in these activities and giveaways and like received nothing. So yeah, with all the sort of supporters rewards, we also will compensate with in-game goods all who didn't receive their physical items from giveaways. So that's like
Was that handled by Mythical
shame.
this time? Was that handled by Mythical, the physical giveaways this time?
Yeah. It was handled by Mythical, I believe,
Okay.
because
Yeah, because
that was.
when we did when we did our merch, I don't think we had any major issues shipping
No,
anywhere
no, no,
apart
no,
from.
no, no. We shipped it anyway, and Pablo, the guy who play Nitro Nation Dragon Drift, he like mailed us into email with a medal like this, and the guy with them, the guy in our Discord with John Q Consequences. Yeah, this guy. He also shared the photos of himself near the car in a helmet. And our merch in the car is cool, and we send it to our beloved players of Nitro Nation, and it's really cool that those players are here in this community also helping us to make this game better. So we appreciate
Oh,
it, and
next time we do this, we're gonna do this
yeah,
ourselves. So and then we'll make sure everybody gets
yeah,
the items in time.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And if you face this issue, please don't hesitate to contact us via Discord, email. We take these cases seriously. The next question is from Manuka. Shout out to Manuka, and it's about the difference or an absence of it between non-NFTs, SE and LE cars. So could you guys elaborate more on our categorization of cars, as I think it's a pretty important element of the gameplay?
We have like a super long answer here, and it's written about how we treat the cars. I think we can talk after about this in details, and I'll share with it. But I can share like my own vision on different type of cars, and then Blood will share his vision if it differs
And
in some way.
we'll see if it matches.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and also if it matches. So basically the idea under these certified cars and limited edition cars and non-NFT cars, let's call it standard. I love it. It's cool. It will be great, really, to give a name to those cars, because now when we call it like non-NFT, it's like strange, because like it's like standard or free-to-play car. We can call it free-to-play car, and basically it's like free-to-play car and standard edition car exist for free-to-play economy purposes to players who just don't or can't don't I don't know, they just don't they just want to play a free-to-play game, and this is the option for them to like have any car. So, and this is also true for a regional Nitro Nation, where every car are accessible from a car dealer, which differs the Nitro Nation from other racing games which lock you from a cars. We try not to lock you from a cars, and like the standard cars are like a free-to-play economy of playing a drag racing game without any limitations. And I think that's the players love in our games. On the other side, both the certified edition and limited edition, it's both an NFT cars, and they play a crucial role in the NFT economy. So the certified cars are like the base of tokenomics in the game, and this is the cars that allow players to earn tokenized currencies, rare currencies, to join this economy, and like get a car, earn something with it, sell something with it, and like join this new world of Web3. But we treat these cars as NFTs on a low value, because everybody could get a TVR if he played 7 days, and we understand that the value of free NFT is like around zero, because anybody could like spend some time and get it. So we understand that nobody will value this car high. So that's where comes limited cars, limited editions, which are the peak and the summit of this economy, which won't give you more rewards, in our opinion. That's not the point. The point is it's limited and will allow you to get something that nobody else can get. And this, in our opinion, somewhere in the future, when we will deal with the rent loan system, if we will be able to do it, will work as it meant to be, where not everyone, like only limited amount of players have a limited edition cars, and they can like give it away to other players to join this cycle of economy and share this limited rewards and awards that those cars will give. At this point of time, yeah, there's really no differences. And talking about tournaments, we plan to introduce the difference, but not in the way you think about it, because this change will work in this idea of the base of Web3 economy, whereas those NFT cars, both of them, are the first step. And like without NFT car, you can't earn like, I don't know, Nitro coins. Let's say gear coins when you play in tournaments. But with those cars, you will earn the gear coins, and this is the first step. Next step will be differ the limited edition cars, because we always keep in mind that the reason why players, early supporters join this game and join these like pre-sales hype is to get those limited edition cars, and it's like exclusives and it's valuable not only because it's cool, but also because they're limited.
There's a very good question in the chat, and if you don't mind, I'm going to take this one. The question is about the renting and loaning, whether it's planned or not. This is something we absolutely want to have in the game. However, it's not something we can promise in the nearest couple of updates, because we really need to build the foundation first. As you guys know, the clubs in the game are not very useful right now. They're kind of a bit of an annoyance, because you need to go to the club garages to upgrade your cars past a certain point and cheaper. There is little value in the clubs as they exist in the game, and that's obviously not the way we intended this to be, and that's not the way we designed this game to be. It's just we haven't been able to build it out yet. So when we move to when we get to a point where we have fully fleshed out clubs, when we have fully fleshed out gameplay modes, including hopefully club competitions, then we can introduce renting and loaning, because that was, as I said, one of the major features we wanted to have, one of the major reasons we have specific types of workshops in the game with specific parameters for them. A big part of our social gameplay design, a big part of the tokenomics as well. So obviously, when I get this into the game as soon as possible, we just need to clear some obstacles first.
Yes, but thank you for sharing this information, because actually our next question was about, speaking of plans and status updates, it was from Blue Blood and about the status of the workshop economy.
Yeah, I think I kind of addressed that as well. That's part of the bigger scope of building out the clubs, because as you guys know, the game is not nearly complete. It's pretty bare bones now, if we're being honest about the status of the several key features, ranging all the way from the PvP mode, the core gameplay modes. If you compare the modes we have in the previous Nitro Nation game, obviously there's a lot more to do there. And then actually with the clubs in WorldTour, we wanted to do something we couldn't do in the original Nitro Nation, the previous Nitro Nation game, and to have actually really engaging club mechanics and really engaging club war mechanics, because the club competitions in the previous game are a bit simplistic. So that's a big chunk of work. That's something we've been dreaming and fantasizing about since Nitro Nation WorldTour was conceived. We absolutely want to get this done as a whole, and we absolutely want to put all the features that make the different workshops useful and kind of justify their existence in the investment into those workshops. It's just that it's a big chunk of work.
Yes.
And also, I just wanted to take a step back, because I think the previous question about the SELE non-NFT cars was asked in the context of the tournaments. The events we have in the game right now, where, let's say, if you have a limited edition car and it's at the tournament is taking the standard edition car only, then you cannot participate, which doesn't make any sense. So this is something we will address. It's really annoying. It annoys the hell out of me, because I have plenty of limited edition cars that I bought for the pre-sale. Obviously, I don't have the standard edition for because that doesn't make any sense. So whenever I see SE on the tournament requirements list, it's really annoying. We're gonna fix that. Also, we are hoping to add a feature for converting standard cars into NFT cars at some point down the road. I can't talk much about that because I'm not a game designer, I'm not a tokenomics designer. But as Gleb was saying, we basically have 3 tiers where it's a standard car, free to play, like in any other free to play game. You can get it at the beginning of the game for free. You can earn it by completing certain tasks. A lot of these cars are really easy to get. It doesn't participate in the tokenomics. It's not tokenized itself. So these are your standard game cards. And then we have the standard edition NFT, which is participate in the tokenomics. And then we obviously have the limited editions that are functionally almost the same, but they have a little bit more inherent value because of the scarcity and the serial numbers that come with them. So we want to have a feature where you could take a car that you have earned through the game and upgrade it into an NFT under certain conditions, so that you don't necessarily have to always go through the marketplace or wait for the car you want to be dropped if you already have this car as a standard car in the garage. No timeline on this, but this is something we really want to have.
Yes, lots of cooking behind the scenes. Following up on the topic of further development of the game, Manuka asks, when will we be able to convert Nitro and Gear coins into Myth token?
So here, I will choose this question, if you don't mind. The thing is, and this question relies on a question of when we plan to change the white paper. So at this point, the Gear coins, Nitro coins are not tokenized currencies. They're rare currencies which require an NFT card to earn them, but it's not a tokenized thing at this point of time and could not be converted into Myth. So based on this, it won't be able to convert currencies into the tokens, but the idea behind the Gear coins and Nitro coins and the lock of them on NFT cards is that it's like we said before, is the first step in this economy where you can get a free car like TBR, which are basically free if you play it 7 days. Start playing Ghost Races, earn your Nitro coins, invest it in the upgrades of the car, and then sell it. This car, which had upgrades installed on it, with spent Nitro coins and gear coins you earned previously from Ghost Races and gear coins, like from Festival Pass, for example. Which are sold in credits, but we have plenty of ways to earn credits in the game. Not as much as previously. There was like some economy flows where like really a lot of credits were like granted from a divisions. We cut it, and it was not like really good articulated to the community. We won't do it anytime soon again, because we've seen your reaction and we don't want to have it again. And if we will like plan to make some changes like this, we will definitely will announce it in the first place. And at this point, it works like this. You like earn Nitro coins, gear coins, invest into this car, and then sell the car. That's the design currently implemented in the game as a Web3 game, which exists in this world of economics. We are keeping in mind that we want somehow to implement the token earning mechanics, because the Web3 game could not exist without such mechanics. But it won't happen in the next few updates, because as Vlad told, at this point we have like a base game which are working on a blockchain and also exists as a free-to-play game, and it works. Like there is a cars, it's cool, it runs, everything's great, but we don't have this game we really love. We think is a super engaging, exciting game, and we believe this game are around a team-based betting competitive drug racing. And to get there, we need to rework the clubs, rework the workshops, supporting the clubs, and then think about how this system of a team-based competitive gameplay in clubs will work with loan mechanics and the Web3 mechanics in the game. So that's the vision on the future. And the point where I stand right now is make clubs cool and starting with making invite only clubs. Like this.
Yeah, I just wanna step in quickly and maybe add a bit of context, because we all know that there's a lot of stuff in the game currently that makes you kind of pause and think, what the hell does it do? Why does it even exist here? What's it supposed to mean? And when is it actually going to become useful or functional? And the reason for that, as many of you know, is that we were forced to release the game worldwide really early. It carried a version number of 0.5 for a reason. It wasn't a complete game by any stretch of imagination. I can't comment on the reasons why we had to do this. Suffice to say, it wasn't my call. I would have much preferred to release the game in December or later, because as soon as you go live, it slows you down tremendously, because you always have to care about continuity. You have to make sure that the updates that ship don't break the previous builds of the game. And you have to deal with a lot of stuff that you typically don't worry about when you're in development. So that really slowed us down. In the original vision that we had in the original roadmap, which I think is still live on the website if you look for it, we wanted to add clubs and club competitions before we ship the game. So the components we have in the game right now, the game modes, are really bare bones. We never lived, in the illusion that this game with a campaign, divisions, and really simplistic PvP races is going to be incredibly engaging. And again, we've been doing these games for 13 years. And if you look at Nitro Nation, how it developed over time, the kind of complexity we added there, starting from the PvP mode, which comes with its own seasons. It comes with the betting system where you can, win a lot of money, lose a lot of money in game. I really regret not being able to add pink slips to that game. I really hope we can do pinks in this game because I think that's an awesome feature. The original Nitro has really complex multi-tier game modes, so that is absolutely necessary. Of course, the club competitions are really necessary. It's just that we were not able to complete the scope before going live, and once we went live, we had to deal with a whole bunch of features that further slowed us down. So many of the things we're talking about, we've had them designed for a long time. But, we know how we want to build them. We just need to build them.
Yeah, thanks for elaborating on it, Vlad. And I really like the next question from Chagas because it's all about what's happening behind the scenes of Nitro Nation. So the question is the following: who do the talks with the car brands, and how did you get Lamborghini? And who's next?
I'll take that since I'm part of many of these talks. I actually traveled to Lamborghini for the first time 7 years ago. They invited us to their premises. That was a pretty cool trip. As far as work trips go, that was one of the best ones. Can't complain about that. But basically, there's a common misconception that car brands want to have their inventory in the game because that's PR and brand positioning for them. But that's not how it works. Of course, they appreciate the additional exposure, but we still have to pay them. So we would typically approach a brand we would negotiate over the specific cars that we want to have in the game. There's going to be some back and forth because sometimes brands want to have newer cars positioned in products because they need to sell them. Dodge probably don't care about 1999 Viper being in the game because they don't sell those. They want to have the new Viper in the game. So we're gonna, there's gonna be some back and forth over which cars and at which price we get. Typically, we pay an upfront fee, which is quite significant, and that's what everybody has to do in this industry. And then we go through the next set of steps where we create the models, we send them to the OEMs, we call them OEMs, for approval. They give their comments. Some car manufacturers have in-house teams who handle all the licensing talks, all the economics of it, all the reporting and all the approvals. Some of them work with agencies. It took us a decade to establish working relationship with the brands that we have in our games right now. And it's a really complex process because you deal with a lot of parties, you have to comply with a lot of standards, you have to read through some amazing contracts crafted by major corporations. So there's a lot of legalese and just really mundane work involved. But at the end of the day, we get to have Lamborghini and we get to have McLaren, and we get to have plenty of amazing cars ranging all the way from classics to the hypercars of today. With Lamborghini, it was a long process. Typically, the higher up market the brand is positioned, the more demanding they are, and the more reluctant they are to hand out the licenses to everyone. So, as I was saying, we started 7 years ago. We got to a point where we could finally get those cars. That was one of my dreams ever since we did the original drag racing game to get Lamborghini. We actually had Lamborghinis in the original drag racing game. We just didn't license them, so we had to remove them. And then engage in negotiations. So that was, in this case, a 7-year process, but we made it.
Cool.
And the second part of the question was who's next?
Yeah, who's next on the list?
I'm not sure if I'm cleared. If I'm cleared to comment on that, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't care. We're going to have Dodge. I think Nissan is also coming, and there's a bunch of other brands that are lined up. For now, we are not trying to get 42 brands in the game like we had in the original Nitro. I think that was the number. It doesn't make a lot of sense. We know how licensing works. We know which brands we can get on which conditions. We have, if basically if you see a car in Nitro Nation Dragon Drift, you can expect this brand to be in WorldTour at some point. It's just that at this stage in the game's life cycle, we don't feel we need too many cars and too many brands. But I mentioned those specifically because, muscle cars in the racing game, right? They have to be there. And there's going to be, hopefully, there's going to be a choice of a starter car as well. So there's going to be something next to the Miata at the beginning of the game. And that might be a muscle car. And yeah, Skyline, for sure. R34 GTR.
Great. The next one is from Oceanzilla, and I think we've probably already covered some of the questions here. So there is the first part about clubs. Any news on club versus club competition? I think you've already covered this topic, Vlad. And another question is also from Oceanzilla. When will non-club owners be able to equip workshops? I don't know if we should add something about clubs. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I don't have anything to add on this specific question. I'm not sure when.
So what about?
What?
Yeah. What about spark plugs? Because it's the second question left by Oceanzilla. So will we be able to convert spark plugs into cars in the next update?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, that's not in the immediate next update, but this is coming soonish. I don't think we have a specific version for it, but it doesn't seem like a very complex feature. I think it's coming soon. And that was an excellent comment in the chat by Pbubs, that there's no timeline for any of the advanced features of the economy. And when the game was released last year, it was marketed as having or soon to have all these mechanics, but they are still not here. That is a fair take, and I want to provide some context here. Why are we doing this M&A in the first place? Why it's not the Mythical guys? We've basically been transitioning to a new model where if last year Mythical were basically calling the shots when it came to features, product priorities, release dates, and everything else. Starting the second half of December, we've transitioned into CM deciding what gets built in which order. I can disclose why this is happening, but TLDR, we're taking over the features. Obviously, the stuff that concerns the platform, the tokens, the blockchain, we still have to make sure we comply with Mythical games. But when it comes to game features, we are taking over. So that's why we're here without a specific roadmap at specific dates, because we are taking it one version at a time now. 09, 092 and 094 were the first versions. I think 092 and 094 were the first versions that we kind of conceived on the CM side and implemented them independently.
Thanks for
and also,
elaborating on
the
it.
things I already mentioned about, the game just launching too early, way too early last year. But there wasn't much we could do about it.
Yeah, and
Thanks, Vlad. Yeah.
I will also. We ran out of time. That's the problem. And I believe this comment from Pbubs is really important, and I want to address the second part of this comment about non-existent timeline of when this comes. So that's our one of the most important priorities at this moment is to generate a public roadmap of the game and features we want to implement the game. So it will be public that what we will do next, what we will do by the end of the year, what we'll plan to do by the end of the year. Right now, players asking about spark plugs, and we know that it will be released soonish. Yeah, not soonish, not next update, and maybe not update after the next one, but definitely we have it in a roadmap, and we want to make it public, so we won't have these like uncomfortable questions about like when coming this that you already like mentioned before the release of the game. So yeah, we plan to become more transparent with the players, and that's why are we here right now, and that's why we plan to do it more.
Yes, I do agree with Gleb. We are running out of time, but I want to thank you guys for your honesty, for your participation, and for not being for being curious. And also, I want to make sure that all the questions that were left unanswered will be definitely addressed by the team in the future and directly in Discord. Yes, thanks again for your time. Your feedback means a world to us. And have a lovely evening. Have a happy racing, and stay tuned. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks.
Thank you
Have a
guys for
good,
being here. I really appreciate
great
that.
evening.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye bye.